Welcome everyone, you're listening to Nephology, the podcast dedicated to crypto, accounting, business, finance and much, much more. I'm Joe David, the founder of Nephos Group and Miner. Please note that all conversations recorded are professional opinions, and if you'd like to know more or gain support, please reach out to the team directly. Now on to the next episode.
Well, welcome, Taylor. This is my turn to grill you. You've been grilling me all day, asking me all the questions under the sun, getting me to put everyone to sleep, and now it's your turn.
Yeah, I'm good at getting people to go to sleep. Normally with something in their hand, but yeah.
Okay, well, I'm glad that's exactly where we started. So, yeah, welcome to, I guess, our podcast on the other side of the world.
Yes.
For people who don't know who you are, but you did give them a little bit of an idea. Who are you? What do you do? How did you start doing it?
My name is Taylor Ryan. I am a sex creator, but I also own SX Creators, which is an online course which teaches other creators how to be successful on platforms such as OnlyFans, while also staying safe online and all the in-between bits of being an entrepreneur and what it means to actually run a business and the fundamentals behind that.
Oh, perfect. Good answer.
It's my elevator pitch.
let's start right at ground zero then. What got you into being a creator?
Well, I've always been a performer. Like I always knew that I was going to do something creative. Always. From when I was, 14 years old, 13 years old, like I was doing like dance lessons. Before that, I competed with gymnastics. So like I always liked being front and center. And I know it sounds like a really dickish thing to say, but like it's just who I was.
And it comes naturally to you.
It does.
Stealing the limelight off me all morning.
That's easy to do. But no, being a show-off is kind of my thing, and it just progressed. And it sounds silly, but I used to watch Girls in Playboy Mansion when I was like 14 to 16, 17.
Funny, I did that too.
I'm sure you did. And yeah, I don't know, like I got into modelling. I always knew that I wanted to do modelling. I wasn't the prettiest of children, I was kind of fugly, but I knew that I liked being in front of the camera anyway. And yeah, I got into glamour modelling when I was 18, and it kind of progressed from that. And I came across OnlyFans. It was like, I love this. Like, I feel empowered. You don't have to feel empowered to do the job, but I did. And my confidence grew, and I just started realising where I was supposed to be. And that's kind of where my sex creator journey started.
And when was that? Was it 2017? No.
2016 I started modelling. 2018 is when I first made and started making money on OnlyFans. Well, I created my account and published it on the 5th of March 2018.
Do you have like an anniversary every year where you celebrate?
I do, yeah.
Definitely.
I do a discount and I do like a special deal and new content.
There's that entrepreneur coming out.
It is, yeah. Yeah, I do like a whole bundle deal and everything. Like celebrating 5 years. That's a big one.
And I guess really the big thing for me though, in this industry, probably you know a lot of people deal with it, and like we spoke earlier for the course. How was your journey like letting people know this is what you do, and how did you find that?
As in like starting OnlyFans for the
first
time?
Yeah. How did you find that?
Yeah, well, it was difficult because it's almost been 5 years now as we speak today, and almost 5 years ago, no one knew what the fuck OnlyFans was. They had absolutely no idea. So that was hard because you had to convince people that this platform that you were using was, for one, safe to put your card details in, and two, worthy of paying monthly for whatever it is that I was selling.
Yeah.
So I found it was hard. It was really hard, but I started learning social media marketing skills, and like I started realizing really, really quickly that it wasn't about the fact that I was a sex creator. It wasn't about the content I was creating. It was about how to get it out there. So I started buying courses in social media, and that's kind of where that.
And this is like why we kind of wanted to have this discussion today, because everyone, you just on the surface it's that, but it's so much more. You're right. It's so much business, and we'll get onto the actual business in a short while.
Yeah.
What was that like coming out to like friends and family? I guess it's your own version of coming out and telling people. What was the reaction like? What's your favorite reaction of whenever you told someone? What's your highlight story of that?
So I never really like came out like per se as a sex creator. It was obviously a slow build for me because I already started doing glamour. As my family started out, I'm from a broken home anyway, so obviously it's 2 separate conversations, or in my case it was like 700 different conversations, loads of different family members, no one lives together. So like, yeah, I guess for one part of my family, and I won't specifically say who it was, but they were really nasty. It was a horrible experience. It was difficult trying to just be in a room with them, knowing that they had this opinion about what I was doing, and it made me feel really low and like I was basically just a bit of shit on the bottom of their shit.
Very opposite to how it made you feel to start with.
Exactly, yeah. And yeah, that was really hard, getting called names all the time, like from like parental figures, parental family members. It was tricky. Set off a lot of like childhood trauma as well. So that for me in my journey was hard because I hadn't healed my inner child from how hard it was growing up to then combating it as an adult, doing a career that I feel so incredibly confident and happy, and I'm finally happy, and then having this parental figure abuse me again was like, that fucking sucks. So that was hard. That was really hard at the beginning. And now obviously it's like, I say obviously as if anyone knows, but like now it's easier because it's so much more like accepted.
I was going to say, I bet the reaction you get now is so different compared to when you might have first told someone that's what you do.
Yeah.
What do you, if you're at a random party and someone came up to you and asked you what you do you tell them straight away? Do you drop them in right at the deep end, or how do you go about that?
Yeah, that's actually a funny question because like I do, like, depending on the situation that I'm in, I read the room first. I don't read the room first, actually. I don't read the room. What I do is, it depends what situation I'm in, I just go, oh, I'm a porn star. And then they're literally just like, how much money do you make?
Yeah.
Like straight away, oh, what are you doing? What do your parents think of that? And I'm literally just like, why is that? Why do you go there? Yeah. But I do that for the shock factor because I do love seeing that reaction of them not having a clue what to say to me next.
It's kind of how I feel too when I tell people I'm an accountant, but for a very, very different reason.
Your top says different, to be fair. That's not good branding for you right now.
It's great branding.
That's no OnlyFans colour, that.
It's great. It's gonna be a regular outfit on rotation now.
I want pictures so bad. I just constantly want to see that in every situation that you're in.
So what you're saying is I need to start my own version of OnlyFans, but actually like
as an accountant,
but actual accountant advice.
Yeah, because no one would believe you.
Yeah, no one would do that. What do you mean you're on OnlyFans selling accountancy?
It's fantastic.
Yeah, maybe we're onto something there.
I'll talk to you about this after.
Talking of business.
Yes.
So then you progressed into SX Creators. Mm-hmm. Talk us through that little journey of going from doing it yourself to wanting to empower and get everyone else, like share the wealth really of knowledge.
Yeah. I guess to put it right back to the beginning, like I've always been the underdog, like in school, like heavily bullied, like punched, kicked, spat in my face type of bullied. So for me, I always wanted to bring up that person in the room that was in the corner, not knowing what to do, not knowing what to say, the scared people, the people that didn't really have access to that kind of education or confidence. So it started there, and that started with the referral program on OnlyFans, where OnlyFans take 20%. When you go through someone's referral link, OnlyFans only get 15 and you get the 5 that OnlyFans would normally get. So that creator's not paying you, they're not losing any money, but OnlyFans are, and you're getting that 5. Yeah. So with that referral program, I would take that 5% and I would help creators. I would be like telling them like what I've been doing, and I'd share all my knowledge with them. And like that started getting really popular, but it got, I say too popular, air quotes too popular. It was too popular to the point where I couldn't keep up with helping all these people anymore. So it like genuinely, like one day it came to me, And that was it. I was like, right, I need to reach people. I need people to be able to come to one place to get all this information that I have. And then it was like a course. Like it was a course. And I was talking to a photographer that I used to work with, and we started spitballing ideas, and then like SX was born. I ended up coming up with the name and like the concept of it, and then found my production team that's helped me along the way, and now like it's turned into like what it is today.
It is, and I guess so to self-plug, and it was little old Joey before me. Little old Joey. So how did you come to that relationship, and I guess why Joe? Because I mean, I ask myself that a lot throughout the day. Oh, so
do I. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Yeah.
So why Joe?
Actually, the manager of my production team, he had a look at 4 accountants, and he put a couple of people in front of me, and we had a meeting about it, and we were talking about the fact that we want accountants to come onto the course, because I don't want to give accountant advice because I'm not an accountant, and all the advice that's on the course, I want it to be so solid and real and true that it had to come from someone else. So the manager did that for me, and he came across Joe and he showed me Joe's work, and I was like, I want to call with him. I want to talk to him. He came across well on the camera when I was looking at his YouTube videos that he did, and then we had a phone call, and he was so lovely and warm, and it felt so personable that I was like, I feel comfortable with, and I like honestly, I had this thought, but like with a man coming onto the course and doing it, because I want women to feel empowered, but then I thought, well, I also want men to feel empowered, so why not have a man that's willing to help be part of the course? And that's where this whole thought train came, and Joe just had everything that made me feel comfortable, that I knew other people would.
It's a shame he's lost that now, isn't it? It's a real shame. He's got too big time.
He really has.
Too big time.
Yeah, I don't really like him that much.
And it's interesting because we had that discussion a little bit earlier. Well, actually not earlier, but before this, I kind of wanted a female in the team to kind of really do the work. And it wasn't because it wasn't so I felt uncomfortable. I just thought, for a minute, I kind of stopped and was like, well, surely it's better coming from that. Like, if your first experience with an accountant is that, you might not feel comfortable sharing it. But like you said, really, it should be about everyone. And I think hopefully the content today will show that we're not your average accountant and all that sort of stuff. But where was I going with that, I guess, is what really, in your mind, differentiates accountants, like in the same way as creators? Do you find there's a link at all in terms of the mindset? So was there anything of like that with Joe in terms of his drive and things like that? Because I do find a lot of people when I meet them who worked with Joe before me, kind of similar to Joe. Yeah. They're just like, not workaholics. I mean, he is a workaholic, but maybe not yourself. But that same drive, like entrepreneurial spirit. And I always get the same message from people. So did he have a bit of that on you? Like you saw he had a similar vibe? Genuinely,
yes. I wholeheartedly mean that. When I had the conversation with him, yes, he had that personal aspect and it made me feel so comfortable. I think the reason why it made me feel so comfortable was because he wanted to grow his company at the same time that I was a brand new startup. He wanted to work with me. The chance, he gave me the chance. Although he was already establishing his company, it wasn't a small, Nephos wasn't a small company at the time that I approached them. But he still wanted to work with me. The fact that I was in the sex industry and the fact that, we were wanting to help sex workers, none of that fazed him. And I loved that. One of the people that we considered was a female accountant, but she had to talk to her board of directors and all the rest of it to make sure that, it was allowed and it was okay to have us come on board and for her to help us. And I'm like, what the fuck does that matter? You're an accountant and you're supposed to be helping business people and entrepreneurs, and that's what creators are, they're entrepreneurs.
Yeah, exactly.
And Joe gave all of that.
Yeah, because that's one of the things, like we say always, is it's an entrepreneurial spirit. Mm-hmm. This is a new area of work. So where do you think, where is the next steps for SX then? What's next? Do you feel you've achieved a lot of what you wanted to achieve? And obviously you still want to grow it and expand. Yeah. But what's next for the SX brand? Yeah.
So we are, actually, by the time that this comes out, I'll be able to it would already be out, so it's okay, I can say it. So I've created spicy creator planners So I'm trying to niche down on the things in the industry or the things in any business industry that haven't been created for creators. So the Spicy Creator Planner is literally what it says on the tin. It's a creator planner where you can have your collabs in there, your custom requests in there, your weekly, your daily, your monthly planner of what you need to buy, your checklist. It's got everything. And like that is important for me to create, because creators and sex workers deserve to have the things that other business people and other entrepreneurs have. So I guess for SX, the next step is to continue fighting to normalise the industry, but to go a roundabout way of doing it and actually create and provide things that we don't have. Start showing people that it is a job.
Do you think a lot of the pandemic helped accelerate that? I think a lot of people got into side hustles and things like that. And again, like unfortunately, you made me do a load of TikToks earlier, and I was a very willing participant.
Yeah, you look like it as well.
But do you think there is a huge trend now that it is more normal?
Yeah, I think it definitely accelerated it being in the pandemic. I don't think it helped for the glamorization side of things, but that's a different subject altogether. It's something to go into for another day. But I think for the normalization type of thing, more people tried it, meaning less people could bitch about it. Because you can't, well, you can, and people will, but like you can't try something such as sex work and then slag it off and be like, people that do that are sluts and horrible, disrespectful. It's like you tried it, so less people can say that now. So I think that definitely helped.
And do you still get a lot of hate? Like, how do you deal with that? Because I couldn't have a thick skin to that sort of stuff. Like the world of social media is awful.
Yeah.
How do you find that now versus when you started?
Well, I mean, I've always had a thick skin. Again,
the
childhood abuse, the bullying, and then starting in an industry that everyone fucking hates. I've always had that thick skin. But the actual recent example of me getting hate, which I still do to this day, was literally yesterday, or it was the day before, and I've got my dog, my golden retriever, has a TikTok account, and it's on like 65,000 followers at the moment.
Is that more than you?
No. I was thinking like, is it? No, it's not. And someone commented saying, if you spent less time making content on that certain website, maybe you'd have more time to train your dog. And I'm like, you're condemning me for like having like a job and my puppy, an actual 13-week-old puppy, being destructive and biting things. But because I'm a sex worker, that's why it's the problem. So I still get hate like that, and it's more just blame sex workers, whatever you can.
But is that like you kind of okay? Next comment now. Is it to that stage, or is that style? What is that the one that's still kind of? You probably shouldn't say really, because that's the way the internet works.
Well, no, like that. You know what? Hate comments don't bother me. They do not. But that one comment does. But it also puts the fire under my ass to normalise the industry. Because if I don't get those comments, then where's my motivation coming from? If I think everything's fine and everyone's accepting of the industry, where is that fire coming from? So if anything, I'm actually like, yeah, go on then, comment more, because I'm going to get this done faster.
It's great for the algorithm.
It really is brilliant for the algorithm.
Yeah.
5,000 more followers, nice.
Perfect.
More subscribers, more dildos.
That reminds me, do you remember the meeting we had when you came in and you mentioned the dildo brand? Well, but you obviously didn't say dildo brand. You just said, "Oh yeah, I'm going to work with this brand."
Yeah.
And I looked at you as if like I was like, "What?" Like, "Oh yeah, I meant to know that." Like you'd said Charlotte Tilbury or something like that. So I was like, "What?"
That's funny you did that as an example, though. That's funny.
That's just because I get sent to buy Charlotte Tilbury all the time by my girlfriend.
There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I do remember that conversation. It's so funny. Like, this is why I like you guys. Is because I don't feel any type of fear when I talk about the things that I need to claim my expenses on, because like that's my right, that's what I've got to do. And that's another reason why I liked the fact that you guys were coming over to the course. And again, going back to that point of you wanted to have a woman do these videos today for the SX course, but then I'm also like, yeah, that's great, because I love that, the whole like empowering, getting women to get more in front of the camera and like, you know, take over. But then also no, because I want to show people that actually don't worry about the guy that's doing your accounts, because he also doesn't care. So
Yeah, and I think like it's not about me, but I like that about the relationship we now have. That like, again, you in my mind, I'm an accountant, and you are also an accountant,
I'm an
just
accountant.
different kinds. And I obviously as again we always talk. I always joke like, oh, as a white male,
Yeah.
like I like that you don't that doesn't bother you. It almost feels like we're doing something right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that's huge for me because I and like I say, I think pretty much anyone out there, girl, boy, I would be happy for them to get in front of the camera and speak with you about this stuff.
Yeah.
So I hope from Nephos's perspective that's something we're doing right.
Yeah, it definitely is.
And I want to put you on the spot kind of to finish. So earlier you made me pick 3 things that you wanted. So I'm gonna turn that on you.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, what 3 things should you really, really focus on when picking an accountant?
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna cheat. I've got 2 of those I want you to answer, but that one first. Go for that.
Okay. So the important things that I would say when picking an accountant is, 1, finding an accountant that doesn't gatekeep, that doesn't genuinely though, that doesn't just use these big words to draw you in, but actually explains what they're talking about when they use those big words, because otherwise it's almost like they're manipulating you into taking their service because they're making you feel like you're inferior and can't do it. That's a big one. Straight away when I spoke to you guys, it was literally just like layman's terms. You told me everything that I needed to know, and then I chose you. I guess the personable aspect as well. Being comfortable with your accountant is important, because at the end of the day, you do need to build relationships with them, because they're being quite invasive, as a lack of better word, into your finances, and that can be really personal for some people. It is for me. I don't like talking about my finances with the outer world. Being able to have you guys look at it is a big thing for me. Yeah. So I think being comfortable is really important. The third one, I'm sorry, but you put me way on the spot. I don't know, make them wear your shirts. If they wear your merch, then they're good to go.
I think it's a partnership, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's especially, I think it's important, with your line, you're confident you've been doing it for a few years. If you've been doing it for a couple months and you need an accountant and you've not had that chance to build up and tell people and gone out to the public, as it were, you're not going to feel comfortable talking to an accountant like you do, for instance. So you need that aspect.
Yeah.
And then last one, I said I'd give you 3 more, because you're an entrepreneur, a business owner, and you are so driven.
Thank you.
So tell me 3 things as a business owner you need to do in your business to be successful and to achieve great things.
Okay. Education is the most important thing that you could ever do as a business owner. Educate yourself in the industry that you're in and the job that you're actually taking on. 2 is finding that business advisor / accountant, if you can find them in the same person.
Thanks for that one. I'll pay you a bit for that in a minute.
That's not a problem at all. Did I say it right?
Yeah. Got it.
Cool.
Nailed it.
Right, business. No, but business advisor, an accountant that can also guide you in the realms of, when to set up the right business and the corporation, and be able to guide you in that tax side of things, because that's part of business advice. It's being able to do that. So the education, the right accountant and business person on your team, and creating a community. I think creating a community is one of the best things that you can do when starting a business. You need to make sure that you don't have any underdogs in your business where no one's getting the right light. You're giving everyone that you are having in your circle a voice to put their input in, their opinion in. I don't feel like there should be anyone, no matter what their job role is, in your company that doesn't have a chance to give their opinion if they're in the same room as you at the time that you're creating the thing that you're trying to create for your company.
Empower people.
Empower everyone that you can.
Correct.
Anyone that you come across, empower them, and never burn bridges, because you meed the same people on the way down that you do on the way up.
Correct. Well, thank you very much for your time. I won't keep you any longer.
If you could.
If you could.
If you could stop.
Well, let's call it there. Thank you very much for your time. And I can't wait to see how viral I go on TikTok.
I'll give you updates. Thank you for having me.
No worries.
Bye.
See you later.